All right, today we're going to dive deep into just one piece of music. But this isn't just any song. It's a classic tango called Cicatrices, and it's kind of a time traveler, part historic artifact, part modern work of art. It's a fascinating story. So, someone described the version we're looking at today as being like a warm scarf on a crisp evening. I just love that. It's the perfect way to kick this off, right? It just immediately puts you in the right headspace. Emotional, yeah, but also gentle, warm. It's a whole vibe, and it really sets the stage for what we're about to hear.
And that's what's so cool about this song. It has this incredible duality. I mean, we're talking about a classic that's nearly 100 years old. But when you hear this new version by this contemporary band, it feels totally new. And that's the journey we're going on today, exploring that amazing transformation. Which, of course, brings us to the big question here. How do you pull that off? How can a tango that's a century old feel so fresh? What does it really take to reimagine a classic like this, but do it with respect? How do you honor the past, but also make something that connects with us, right now? Well, let's dig in and find out.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to go back, way back. To really get what makes this modern version so special, you have to understand where it came from. So let's jump in our time machine and head to 1920s Argentina. So the song really starts with these two guys, Enrique Moroni, the lyricist, and Adolfo Avilés, the composer. And they weren't just a one-hit wonder. This was a real partnership. They made 14 tangos together, so you just know they had this incredible creative chemistry going on. And the story of how this particular song was born, it's just so simple, it's almost like a scene from a movie. Just picture it. Moroni and Avilés are just having lunch at a restaurant in Buenos Aires. And Moroni, he just slides a piece of paper across the table with the lyrics he's written. That's it. No big deal, no grand presentation, just this really quiet, pure creative moment. And this is where the magic happens. Avilés reads the words and boom, he gets it. He just immediately connects with them. He tells Moroni, leave it with me, I'm gonna put music to it. And he does exactly that. He takes the lyrics home to his summer house, and apparently, in the quiet of the night, he writes the melody. Just like that, Cicatrices comes to life. And this song, man, it had legs. The staying power is just incredible. Get this, the very first person to record it, back in 1925, was the one and only Carlos Gardel, a true tango legend. Then, fast forward to 1942, and Juan D'Arienzo's orchestra records a version that becomes a massive hit in the dance halls, a version that people are still dancing to today. So yeah, this song has lived a lot of different lives. All right, so now we're going to follow the song on its journey. But it's a journey that takes a pretty unexpected turn. We're leaving the golden age of tango in Argentina and heading to Portland, Oregon. Yeah, you heard that right. Because that's where we meet the band that gave this classic a whole new voice.
The band is called Conjunto Berretín, and they formed back in 2001. They were put together by their bandoneon player, Alex Krebs. And they're not new to this. We're talking over 20 years of dedicating themselves to the art of tango music.
And if you look at who's in the band, it all starts to make sense why their sound is so different. This is not your grandfather's tango orchestra. You've got a jazz pianist in there, a violinist from the Organ Symphony. It's this incredible, eclectic mix of seriously talented musicians. And that is the secret sauce to their unique sound. And what's really important here is their mission. They're not trying to erase the past or say the old versions are bad. Not at all. These guys are totally devoted to the tradition. They've even worked with some of the tango legends themselves. Their whole goal is to, well, respectfully reimagine these songs, to find new feelings, new layers of emotion that were hiding in there all along. Okay, so let's get into the how. How do they actually do it? I mean, how do you take a song that's known for being so raw and dramatic and turn it into something so incredibly gentle and subtle? It's a fascinating puzzle. There's this great analogy. Thinking of it like a classic cocktail with a modern twist, right? Like an old-fashioned. The main ingredients are all there, it's an old-fashioned, but a really great bartender can add one little thing, a different bitter or a special garnish, and it totally changes the experience. That is exactly what Conjunto Berretín is doing with their music. So here's the real difference. If you listen to the classic versions, like the one by D'Arienzo, it's all about that big, dramatic flair. It's built for the dance floor. It's intense. But Conjunto Berretín, they take a step back. They find the emotion in the quiet moments, not in being loud.
Their version is so much more gentle, kind of melancholic. It's all about this beautiful, elegant restraint.
And a huge, huge piece of that puzzle is the vocalist, Megan Vorster. Traditional tango singing is often really theatrical, big and bold. But her performance is the complete opposite. It's so expressive, but it's also incredibly subtle and understated. It perfectly matches what the band is doing and just pulls you in. Which brings us to one last way of thinking about it. It's kind of like your favorite comfort food, right? Something you know and love. But then one day, someone adds a new spice you've never had before, and it just elevates the whole thing. It's still familiar and comforting, but it's also exciting and new. That's the feeling.
So, why does any of this matter? Why are we dedicating this whole explainer to one song? Well, because what Conjunto Berretín is doing here, it's so much more than just a cover song. It's actually really, really important for tango as an art form.
When you get right down to it, their music is like a bridge. It's a bridge between eras. It connects the golden age of tango with all of us, listeners and dancers, right here, right now. It's a way of keeping the tradition not just preserved, but alive, breathing. And this bridge, it really has something for everybody. If you're a listener, maybe new to tango, it's this perfect, fresh way in. If you're a dancer, it offers this totally new feeling on the floor. And for tango itself, well, it shows a way forward, a path for a classic art to evolve and stay relevant for a new generation, without, and this is key, without losing its soul. So that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Cicatrices is just one song, but think about it. Across music, books, movies, what other classics are just sitting there, waiting for a new generation to come along and give them a modern twist, to find their own warm scarf on a crisp evening inside of them?